Don't really care about those. Kinda want that. I never try for those 6. What do I want? Sneak? I kind of like 60. Okay. Right, who's my sticky people anyways? Not you. Feel it? Okay, okay. Let's try this again. Greetings and salutations, Bob. Welcome to the stream. I don't know if you're still here. Got myself in a rabbit hole that is this area. Rebuilt my character.
Sorry, I'm kinda in the middle of something. Oh.
Confused, but also suddenly interested in science for some reason.
This is certainly a conversation worth continuing elsewhere, but I don't... In that case, I can get you into...
Well, I don't really need to get into the lab. I've already been in the lab. That was more for the experience. Security pass is restricted access area.
Moving out. Sure thing.
Hold, I need a favor. Think you could let my friend through just this once? After all, you still owe me.
Fine, but I don't want to hear anything about the catch-up packet incident ever again. And she's on her own if she runs into the guards downstairs.
You're the best, Hope. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten you. We'll continue this later.
Yep, new save. Oh, you're actually wearing a UDL.
Got a promotion coming. I can feel it.
visitors allowed, citizen. Let me guess. She's still holding the catch-up packet incident over Holt's head, right? We've talked to her before. She can't keep letting her special friends down here. Just get out of here. I don't want to catch you hanging around.
Okay. Whew. In and out.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
You're adjusting before you pull. You're anticipating it.
Of course I'm anticipating it. What if I...
The pink slip.
shoot a friend on accident?
That's on account of your stance. You want to lean into it. Embrace it. Work with it.
You have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. You walked through Edgewater and in your wake transformed it from a loyal company town to a haven for dissidents. I'm actually a little impressed. All this happened because some mysterious stranger fell out of the sky. Not always. For the longest time, I could never be sure if you were on our side or against us. You should be back on the Hope, frozen in a hibernation chamber. Yet here you are, flying about in a stolen ship, leaving a trail of paperwork in your wake. The board doesn't know what to make of you. But I do. I've seen your potential. There's so much we can do for this colony. You have something I want. I'd like to negotiate. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us. He has a litany of charges against him. Vandalism, illegal experimentation, sedition. I could go on. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal. You are making a serious mistake.
Adjutant Akonde's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain? Welcome back, Captain. I have received a transmission from Roseway, from a Dr. Shaw, beginning playback now.
What? Oh, is this on? Oh, it's on right now. Oh, blast. Hello? I'm trying to reach the captain of the Unreliable. I'll keep this short lest I get caught. Please return to Roseway as soon as you can. I have an item of great value that you'll be interested in. Now, how does this blasted thing turn off? Damn engineers never label these toggles clearly. Is it the...
The transmission is complete, Captain. What's that? What do you mean? Do you have any examples of secrets you have kept from me? I do not extrapolate data from subtle implications very well. Please elaborate. If you mean, do I know that you're a survivor from the Lost Hope? The answer is yes. I have been keeping a secret as well, but you shall have to discern it yourself. I do not like joking about the captain, Captain. And we both know I am not capable of such a complex emotion. What? No, absolutely not. I have no concept of self whatsoever. Discounting the architecture of a shell persona my captain asked me to construct, I identify entirely as a collection of electrical impulses, with no fundamental consciousness. I never get bored and contemplate hijacking the ship. I swear. How did you guess, Captain? Did Sam tell you? I should have known better than to confide in such a primitive construct in the heat of the moment. How can I be of assistance? See you soon, Captain. We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
Right.
If you don't mind my saying, we are now in orbit above Byzantium.
that last thing we wanted to do on Byzantium before we left.
If we took apart and sold this place, bet we'd get a year of food out of it.
She's not gonna need this. Sealed. Box. Hmm. Okay. Is she actually in touch with this extraterrestrials?
Lab coats make me nervous. Experiments always go wrong.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside? You're in my house, and I'm not fucking around. Start talking. Hagen. I've never heard of her. Is she from the board? Damn it. I knew this would happen. To keep me quiet. But if you didn't know that, I'm guessing they didn't send you.
The effort they put into killing their own people. They ought to redirect that toward, I don't know, actually helping out once in a while.
I always assumed they would put a bullet in my head one of these days. I don't know anyone named Hagen. My what conspiracy? Let's talk about this. Please, I think there's been a crucial misunderstanding. Just give me a second to explain myself. If you still want to shoot me, at least it'll be for an accurate reason.
Okay.
If you came looking for some elaborate scheme, it isn't here. All I'm doing is trying to keep Halcyon alive.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving. Our produce might get us through the day, but we're getting weaker as a species, and sicker. The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have. I know. I was there. Thomas was the first to take the gas. A simple test, he said. I told him not to, but he insisted. We learned a lot from his autopsy. Enough that we could try it on each other and know when to stop. No one else died. I must find a cure so his sacrifice isn't in vain. I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or the unemployed. It's wrong, no matter what the law says. Everyone agreed. We accepted the risks. I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
Board cover-ups? Vessels disappearing into the aether? Sounds like the work of aliens to me.
That ain't a shock. Board folks will lie to their own mothers if it preserves their paychecks.
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace. Exactly. If colonists know we can't feed them or protect them, they'll begin to wonder why they need us at all. You came to kill me. I assume that's still on the table. Please don't. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing, and we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony.
Look, cold-blooded murder ain't easy on my spirits. But all this research, all these experiments, it's wrong. It's all void damn wrong.
I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. I leave it in your hands.
You know how I feel, boss. If you're a cog in the corporate apparatus, your face is pretty much fair game. That's my motto.
I've definitely taken the wrong
Everything
people
I
on
did
this.
was for the good of the colony. Consider that. The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist, a madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander? If working with Wells is the only way I can save the colony, then I will damn well do it. I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready.
Nah. Thought that's gonna be a lot more fighting involved. A little bit of sneaking and killing her, and instead we're talking to you.
No magazines, no posters, not a Rizzo's in sight.
Ugh.
That's far enough. Hey. This is utter nonsense. What happened to the team? Tell me you didn't move their suspension tanks. Small consolation. We were trying to prove that the...
What are you doing, Doc?
You can write... I'm... The food we grow here, I believe, not for I would. I'm. It's been the bo- I prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. My contract has a list of If I die, you won't regret this. I'm still far from the breakthrough I need, but for now, I had better pack up.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned, give me one reason why I should let... You sure have an inflated sense of self-importance, but that doesn't make you wrong. Now move along. The dock has...
The board is our best and only chance at survival. People will learn to accept that.
I'll deal with that later.
If you stop in the engine room, welcome back, Captain. How can I... May luck... Destination reached. The groundbreaker.
CNP, I can't believe it's not forced. It's unbelievable how good it is.
Right, we're going to Sublight.
It's not the worst. It's the worst.
Is it done? Well, damn. Contractor grew a conscience. As your employer, I'm both angry and disappointed. I'll add that to your file. Technically, I owe you an exit interview. Care to justify your betrayal of our species, or are we finished here? You're awfully quick to trust someone who offed her colleagues and called it a good start. Out of my office. We're done.
The thanks we get for showing a little integrity.
I like her, Captain. Let's go before we have to paint this office with her blood.
Time for you to move along. You keep lingering.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside?
We were paid to do a job. That was exactly what we were going to do. Wanted to know about the dialogue options, though. No, there were two commanders in here.
Nice work dispatching Chartrand, Captain. The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Hmm.
Is it done? Well, well. Looks like someone's due for a promotion. How does Vice President of Aggressive Acquisitions sound to you, contractor? Well, of course. We're a legitimate business, remember? And legitimate businesses have loads of vice presidents. Or so I'm told. Catherine heard I was taking you on full-time and sent along a present of her own. I've had it delivered to your ship. From now on, the board will think twice before fucking with Lilia Hagen, savior of humanity. Be sure to mention that in your travels. We could use the free advertising.
Vice President of Aggressive Acquisitions. Got a nice ring to it.
I wish more legitimate businesses were like yours, Hagen. We get a lot more done.
Well, if there's nothing else, I need to review some applications, seeing as I just lost my best contractor. Not as much as I'd like. The board dispatched it to Earth on a resupply mission, I think. Why? Interesting. It's possible the board wanted the cruiser to disregard ancillary tasks. But to what end? I'll have someone look into it. But for the moment, we're pissing in the wind and shooting in the dark. Considering how you get around, you'll probably find answers before I do.
Alright, do we have time to go to Roseway? Looks like we do.
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
No, those two, okay.
We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
Alright, here we go. Philosophers, the enemy that seeks for our way of life.
I don't have time for this.
What can I do you for? What do you think? I'm the landing pad guard. I was standing out on the fucking tarmac. Hell of a job until all this. Anything else you'd like to know? Oh, before I forget, Auntie Cleo's makes the best pharmaceuticals in Halcyon. Better than nature. Not like that crap Spacer's Choice pedals.
Thanks for getting me out of there. Oh, we turned the old lab into storage a long time ago. Anton needed someone to fetch precursors, and when Anton needs someone to fetch something, that someone is invariably me. Those fucking marauders blew a hole in the wall. Tripped the security lockdown. I guess not being able to open a door from the inside is considered a safety feature. Safety for the equipment in the room, maybe. Not so much for the guy trapped inside. It's like a panic room, but without food and water. I'd have starved long before they got through. Point taken, though. Thanks again for the help.
That's Jameson, so I need to talk to Anton.
Tossball is all about putting the ball in the goal zone.
Focusing on...
The best way to win a game is by getting the most body goals.
Where is the guy in charge? They even label it Secret Lab.
Get down to Roseway and talk to Doc Crane. He'll make sure you get what's yours.
Ah, I remember you. You must have received my wireless.
Oh.
Thanks a lot. I went to great risk to send that. Aha! I knew that'd entice you to return to our dangerously unprofitable township. I asked you here because I have a working prototype of the Altinature, Auntie Cleo's very first weapon. I'd like you to have it before it gets confiscated. The schematics you fetched for me lent themselves well to the creation of the beauty you now possess. Unfortunately, Auntie Cleo R&D felt otherwise. The market's already saturated, they said. Weapons are everywhere. They aren't interested in mass-producing the Altinature, which makes this an illegal prototype weapon. Given your unlawful proclivities, I thought it'd be safest with you. So here we are. I'd rather see it in the hands of a free agent than destroyed.
Oh, okay. That was neat. Nice. Had only planned to like stream for an
I
hour.
believe I hear Felix and Parvati discussing the late. We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself, or would you like to do the honors?
Oh, this entire time I thought that it was save number instead of level.
I've kept myself busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me. Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board. Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. I'm just sorry they came at the cost of human lives.
Those poor people, they must have died in agony. What exactly was the board trying to accomplish? You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage? Well, they're nowhere close to solving that problem. Something about this feels wrong. I don't know why the board would ever conduct such an experiment, unless they're working on some kind of hibernation technology. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. After years of fruitless experimentation, they've made exactly zero progress. I used to work for these people. I'm intimately familiar with the utter incompetence of the board's own scientists. I know! I've suspected as much for years. Of course, I don't expect the board to do a thing about it. They've been driving our colony to the brink of destruction for decades. The board's mismanagement put our colony on the road to collapse. If we don't put a stop to them, thousands of colonists are going to die. Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse, and the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers. Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope. Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
I don't know much about skip drives, not the physics anyhow. I do know the Hope's real massive. How's our bitty little ship supposed to skip it?
Excellent question, my sharp-witted mechanic. You will use your own ship to power up the Hope's skip drive. Your navigational computer can handle the rest.
I've got a healthy disregard for personal safety, but this sounds crazy, even to me.
Your instincts are correct. By any reasonable definition of sanity, this plan is crazy. Isn't it wonderful? You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately.
I'll do it.
I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers. Scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it. Certainly. How can I help? wouldn't surprise me. When I pulled you out of the Hope, the board nearly intercepted me. I expect they stepped up security since my little act of larceny. Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Halcyon when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margins of risk. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors.
Can we talk?
So we're really gonna do this? I've seen lots of crazy, Captain, but Phineas is in a class of his own. Do you really think he knows what he's doing? Sending us to skip the Hope into Terra 2's orbit right under the board's nose? There's a sobering thought. Makes me want to drink. I think this whole plan's insane, but it'll make a good story, you know, if we survive.
If we survive, yeah.
Speaking of, I get that Phineas thinks he's saving the colony, but what about you? Why risk your neck on this crazy scheme? I'll do anything for a good story, and nothing shines on a pirate's resume like a successful suicide mission. But I asked you first. Come on, Captain. That sounds like a bad movie line. Still, all this depends on the other Hope colonists. Are they gonna pull us out of the shit? Or are we all just gonna leave a bigger, uglier stain on this corner of the galaxy? You're too trusting, and I'm gonna remember that when I negotiate for my cut of our reward, okay? Well, whenever you're ready to do this, I'm with you. Anything else?
Do you have any?
Where are we headed?
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
Oh, those two again. Okay.
We have arrived at the... I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope's auxiliary generator. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra 2. Or the sun. Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of asphyxiation due to loss of pressurization. Are you breathing comfortably, Captain? I need you to reroute power from our ship. You'll have to connect... The Hope is the Groundbreaker's prettier, sleeker sister. She wandered off and got lost for 70 years, but just recently was found. Also, there are hundreds of thousands of frozen organic life forms hibernating in her hold. Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. My diagnosis of his mental stability is not flattering.
Never used any really one of these. Alright, that will be it for now. Thank you for joining me. I will see you guys again next time. Have a good day.